Welcome. In this segment, we're talking about the brain. We're going to talk about the different areas of the brain and some of the functions that they control. So let's draw the brain. So the human brain is made up of several different lobes, but the cerebrum is by far the dominant structure within the human brain. So the cerebrum has actually grown and encompasses most of the other structures. And it allows us to associate different stimuli that we receive and process it, learn from it, store memories, all of those different things that make us human. So with that, the cerebrum is divided into 4 lobes. You have the frontal lobe, you have the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, and in this area, the temporal lobe. You also have a structure here called the cerebellum. And you have another structure here called the medulla oblongata. Within these different lobes, there are different functions associated with different areas. There's 2 areas that can be divided, that divides the frontal and the parietal lobe, where you get motor neurons and sensory neurons concentrated. So these areas are bringing in impulses from the rest of the body, and then the motor neurons are going back out to tell the rest of the body what to do based on the sensory input. Within the frontal lobe, you have an area that is concentrated on the sense of smell as well as speech. So in some of these different areas, you have interneurons that are more associated with these different sensory systems, these different inputs. In the temporal lobe, it's been associated with memories and memory formation, as well as hearing. In the parietal lobe, you have speech understanding. And in the occipital lobe, it's associated with vision. Okay? Within several of these different lobes, you have overlap of different association and learning functions. So we find these in the frontal lobe, as well as the temporal and the parietal lobes. This cerebrum, again, kind of overlaps and encompasses several other structures, including the thalamus, which is the primary site of sensory integration in the brain, as well as the hypothalamus, which integrates some of the visceral activities. So it's important in regulating body temperature, hunger, satiety, as well as thirst. It is also important in controlling the pituitary glands, so secretion of hormones. And we'll talk more about those in a later segment. You also here have what's called the hippocampus, which is an ancient area within the brain that controls some base emotions. It's also believed to be important in the formation and recall of memories. It's also the area that has been shown recently to retain mitotic capabilities. So you get interneurons in this area that actually divide. Okay, and with that, that's all for this segment, and we will see you next time.